This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, it is week 32. Jeez, time is flying. August is almost over. Are you freaking out? It is time for intelligent imitation, week 32's assignment, which is today. And by the way, you're watching Steve Carty, and this is Portfolio Lab. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I look at photographs that you're thinking for your portfolio. This Thursday is no different. Also, Thursdays, I give you an industry level assignment for you to knock out and me to review. All right, this week's industry level assignment is intelligent imitation. Now, we don't have a lot of submissions, so I'm not thrilled about there's not a lot of you using or trying to use intelligent imitation. And if you didn't include the reference photo, we're not searching the internet for your reference photo, bro. You got to find the exact photo that you're intelligently imitating and include a link to that photo. That was the ask. So if you did not do that, sadly, we're not able to look at your photographs today because you didn't follow the brief. And again, I'm trying to teach you how to follow briefs. This is what working commercially is all about. All right, so this, and by the way, also next week, Wednesday, I'm going to Cape Town, South Africa. So this is my last photo review show until the beginning of September. I'll be back on August the 31st. We'll be back in the rotation a day or so after that. So appreciate you. I will be putting out some content, though, while I'm in Cape Town. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. All right. So, intelligent imitation. The goal of today and today's brief was for you to find an image from one of your top 10 photographers and imitate it through your lens. Remember, you're not copying. It's about translating the original idea's concept using your unique style and your sensibility. And I also, of course, right here in the brief, place a link for the description image in your, place the link for the inspiration image in your description. All right, starting with Rafael Ortiz. So I admire this picture of the Olsen twins from over a decade. I've discovered the photographer was Christian Witkin when Carty pulled out Witkin's website during a live stream. This is my rendition of the photo. Two sisters shot in studio. This is Mr. Rafael Ortiz. Rafael, thanks for submitting. And let me now show you the reference picture. This is his reference, and this is his image. Rafael, I think you did a relatively good job, my guy. I think this is a really good swing. As far as intelligent imitation, a couple of things you have to watch. How the hair on the inside here is kind of going a little, this is her hair. And if you think of it as her hair, it's going that way. Like it feels like it would be okay being down here. So if you're using a fan, don't go too haywire with the fan. Everything else about this picture is perfect. Quite liking this. Also, the head up and head low. There's so many different ways to lean the head, but what you were using is intelligent imitation, and you were imitating from this picture, which I appreciate. And this is a very, very good use of intelligent imitation. I'm giving you, Mr. Ortiz, an 11 on that one. Good exposure, good idea, good background, good light, good subjects. This is a good one for me. Thank you, Rafael. Good shit, Raf. All right, who's next on the docket? Oh yeah, by the way, he shot on the D850 with a 50 millimeter 1.4 and shot at ISO 100 f5 at 1/250th of a second. All right, using two Godox strobes. Rafael Ortiz. All right. 0, 0. Okay. All right, Ref. Thanks for submitting. Next is Malik Brand. Malik says, I was inspired by Zoe Grossman's V Magazine 1984 of Jen Ortega. Shot with the Sony Z7 III, 50 millimeter, 1.4, shot at Sony 50 millimeter 1.4, ISO 160, f8 at a 60th of a second, shot with 3 newer strobes. This is the reference photo, and let's look at Mr. Malik Brand. Malik, thanks for submitting. It's a dope image. Let me see if I can find your reference image now. So is it this entire editorial? Zoe Grossman. I'm imagining this kind of a vibe. Definitely have a sensibility. Definitely close. I mean, that was the link that I clicked here, that you sent me to. Yeah, let me go back here. The link that you sent me to is this one, which is this one, which they load up like this. So for us, it's much easier when you're showing a single image. And if you're looking at it on a website that doesn't let you see a single image, then take the image and screenshot it and then include it. But right now this site doesn't let you, like, this was the image that you made or wanted, but this site doesn't let you go directly to this image. But this is a good swing. I feel like her hair, she's hiding just a little bit too much. Notice the body language, the legs a little bit more come hither. This girl's a little bit more closed. There's a couple of posy things in here, skin tone wise. Skin feels a little gray. You can see like the grayness, and also focus. Let me look at this at 100%. At 100%, Malik, it's a little soft. And I want you to look at that at 100%. And I also want you to see how gray, everything's gray. Even white's gray. So that's a contrast thing. Black is gray is gray, skin is like, I know it's black and white, but it needs to be a little bit snappier with the contrast. Look at how this doesn't feel that way. You see how this feels? Look at the difference, and this is gray. That has contrast. So that's something that I want you to work on the next time that you're processing. But this is a really good swing, Malik. A good swing in the intelligent imitation realm. Thanks for submitting. That's Malik Brand. Who's next on my docket? Next is Denise Tuggle. Denise says, this week's intelligent imitation was inspired by the one and only Garan Rath. Okay, so this is the image from Garan, I'm imagining, and let's look at Miss Denise Tuggle. Denise, look at you leveling up. This is Garan's reference photo and Denise image. Denise, you're learning. This is, I'm happy to see you endeavoring into trying to do things like this. Let's look at your focus. Denise, you blew me away here. This is a yes for me. This is unequivocally a yes. 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 I mean, you're on your way now, Denise. You're on your way. I mean, as far as everything about this picture, how inspired it is, and the fact that you used Garan for inspiration is really clever. Super dope. Very, very well done, Denise. I'm very proud of you. This is a very, very good capture. Good shit, Denise. That is an 11. These guys are good today. Good shit. And again, intelligent imitation pushes your boundaries. It makes you better. If you're looking at a photographer that's better than you and you're trying to see all the nuanced things that make that photograph amazing, and then intelligently imitate those things into your own. All right, so this is little Delilah LeBoy, Lindsay Adler, shot outdoors at night. Let's look at the reference photo from Lindsay Adler. Okay, and this is shot with the Fuji X-T3 70mm ISO 2000 f3.5 at a 250th of a second with one softbox and an LED light. LED is why you're shooting at ISO 2000, Delilah. And I assure you, Lindsay Adler is not shooting with LED. And she's not shooting at ISO 2000. I'm going to assure you of that. Let's look at the work. This is Delilah LeBoy. Delilah. So you're trying to bridge these two as intelligent imitation. This makeup artist is really strong. This makeup artist is a little bit newer. I want you to notice this is blocks of color and this is sequence. So what you're doing is you're taking something like a block of color is elevated and then replacing that with sequins lowers it. It lowers the frequency of it. And the outfit that she's wearing is Gianni Versace, right? She's wearing a hat that's like, everything about this image is designer. Everything about this image is designer. There's nothing about your image that's designer. Where's the hat? And also, black girl, no hair. So hair isn't a factor. So you see how there's nothing on her neck? This girl, all hair. Where is this girl's neck? Look at what this girl's wearing. This is such a predominant part of the image. Look at what this girl's wearing. This looks like costume, sequiny, kind of not high-end stuff. The exposure here is under. This is your photography, eh? Your photography. So if you want your stuff to look expensive, you have to shoot expensive stuff. You can't fake it. And if you're showing the makeup artist this as a reference and she gives you this, that's a problem. So Delilah, this one is a bit of a miss. This one is a miss because of all the things that I'm pointing out there. Her hair is sloppy. You can see her hair needs a comb. It's just, her hair's an afterthought. You have to understand, in this particular image, this model is intentional. Very, very, very intentional. The styling is intentional. You can't imitate a fashion picture that is style focused from Vogue without pushing the style in your photograph, which you're not. So for me, this one is a miss, and I hope you understand why. Like, again, this can't go in your book. It looks too much like you're playing and not taking it seriously. Like, and again, you saw what the makeup looked like in Vogue. This is what it was. Like you saw, this is what the makeup looked like, and that's what you, like, that is not at all this. So you went too far on your own. This is yellow. You went like kind of not the right blue. So there's so many different things that like are not working for this one for me. I hope that helps. All right. Thank you for submitting. That is Delilah LaBoy. So we are getting soon to the next round of my professional photographer's accelerator. It's the ultimate 18-week camera to cash flow challenge. My accelerator starts again on September the 28th-ish. And we're going to be doing a webinar on September the 4th, which is the week that I'm back. We're going to be talking about everything that you need to know about my Pro Accelerator. I'm going to put the info so you guys can get yourself in there. But what you can do now is go to thecartymethod.com/accelerator and put yourself on the wait list. Because if you're on that wait list, I will be sending you information about this webinar. Okay, do that right now. All right, we are down to our last 5 photos. This is Alexander Klasnia. Whiskey, Canadian Club Whiskey. This image was inspired by photographer, art director Helmut Krohn. Okay, let's look at the reference photo. Okay, it looks like it is being sold as a poster. And now let's look at what Alexander Klasnia is doing. Thank you for submitting, Alexander. Alexander, I mean, it's cool. It's a cool effort. And for me, better done than the original. For me, it is all about who it is that you're trying to be known as a photographer. You jump around a lot. You are shooting this one day, that like, and again, I understand, but if you're trying to make a full-time living at photography, if you're trying to break $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, like I am, like if you're trying to do that, it takes a sharpened spear. Like that's how you penetrate. You penetrate first and then you broaden. You're broadened first and you're having no penetration. This does not look like any of your other work. That's another thing. There's no consistency between each one of your photo shoots, so each one of them just looks like its own thing. We're trying to unify what you do and unify your style. But I'm here for you, Alexander. I'm here for you. This is a really good swing. I'm giving you an 11 on that one. All right, Alexander Klasnia. And this is Israel Cardona III. Okay, lots of words. My brain can't function. Okay, Arnold Newman. Arnold Newman portrait. Let's see what you're doing here. Israel Cardona III. This is the reference photo, and this is Israel Cardona III. Let's get it on. Thanks for submitting. So I'm not going to look at this as like a direct comparison, but I am going to tell you the thing that makes this image work is what's going on behind him and the scale of how small he is in the frame, how books are in front of him, all over his desk, all over the floor, all over the desk behind, all over the bookshelf behind, filing cabinet, and blocking the door. So we're seeing all of that in this frame. Now, what you've done is you've just basically taken this part of the picture and then removed all the depth from the back of the picture. So if you look at this picture, there's a little bit of depth here. But if you're pulling from a reference, there's tons of depth here. What she's wearing plaid, like a pattern This gentleman is wearing a clean button-down t-shirt, which is non-distracting. My wish would be this was also a non-distracting t-shirt. For me, making this a reference to this photo is a bit of a stretch. But I do appreciate the swing. I want to show you this as a cover. You can see her head is a little high in the frame, so it's affecting the masthead, and the picture ends here, yeah? So you're containing your whole picture in that small area. Move her head down. But again, you don't have any depth up there for points of interest, which is again why this photo is so dynamic, because it uses scale. It shows him small in the frame. It shows ceiling height. These are the things that you're not showing in this photo. Scale. And I think the books covering books on the table, yes, Israel, but the scale is the part that makes this picture magic. It's the scale of it. This does not show the scale at all. So A, it's the wrong room. B, you didn't back up far enough. C, you didn't position her in again, it's like you're trying to make a documentary picture rather than an editorial picture. Although this is an editorial thing, you can only recreate this if you can recreate that room. And if you can't recreate that room, then there's no point in recreating this photo, because you can't go halfway. You kind of went halfway. I hope that helps you, Israel. But again, it's still a very competent photo. It's tight. It's in focus. Watch your camera shake. We're getting a little bit of slow shutter shake, which comes when your shutter speed. Let me just look here. You shot at a 200th of a second at 2.8 with an AD600. Okay. Just watch your exposure. Make sure you have a light meter. Good job. All right, let's see who's next. We're down to our last few. This is William Sedgwick. Wanted to attempt to get a close-up shot. In hindsight, I would have squared up his shoulders to smooth out the collar, positioned the light a bit further right, and for more shadow, more left. Okay. Wow. It's impossible to read that. Okay. This is William Sedgwick using me as a reference. Shout out the A7R, A7C, 85 millimeter, ISO 100, 1/60th of a second. No, ISO 160, F11, 1/80th of a second with a single strobe, using just my entire site or this image. Okay. Using this image as a reference. This is Mr. William Sedgwick. So thank you, William, for submitting. I appreciate you. So this as this is not the only thing that you're kind of nailing is like my crop, but what I have behind, the depth that I have behind the light that I have happening on his face, and like expression and like that kind of oomph, and the black and white, all of that stuff is making this one like not match like that one. I don't light men like that, William. I don't light men flat from the front. I light ladies like that. So you can see, if you're wanting to do a smart point of intelligent imitation, look at how I light men with shadow and drama, but not females. Not females. Look how I do that. I like men with drama and shadow on their face, but females, no light and drama and shadow on their face, William. Man, drama, shadow on his face. Female, a little drama and shadow on her face. But again, this is rare and this is situational. But you can see for the most part, super clean light on the face. Don't worry about which direction my light is coming from. Your direction, the light that your direction is coming from, you're saying your light's from the left. William, I see the shadow here, and your light is like from on this side. But if you look at how low it is, it's not creating much shaping or shadowing on the face. In fact, it looks on his Asian face pretty flat. So that's what we're saying. Yes, I can see if like I know lighting. I can see that this side of his face is more shadowed than this side of his face. So clearly the light is going from this side to that side. But I can also tell you, I see right under here, which means the light is low enough to get under there, right? I also see that the light is tucked right up under his nose and not drop down here like this to create Rembrandt lighting. Like it is, oops, not that one. Like it is on the reference photo that you sent. Like the reference photo that you sent is like, that's literally what I do, which is this one. So you can see here that nose shadow. You see that nose shadow. You see this, which means that this light has been skied up that way. So it's coming down on that angle to create that. And again, yes, see, same shadow here on the side of the face, but look at what's happening on the rest of his face. Look what's happening on the rest of his face. Like there's very little shadow here. It's because you're not going around that way enough. And there's very little shadow here because you're not going high with the light enough. You can't trick me with lighting. It travels in straight lines. I know what you're doing with light, but when I say this is front light, it's because it appears your shadow is tucking here instead of tucking here, like, or down here, like, or over here. You know what I mean? So it's a small thing, William, but it's all about like, look how tight your shadows are. And oops, sorry, look at mine, like the difference. It's quite a bit as far as, so if you're going to intelligently imitate me and how I light a dude, you have to try harder to get it closer. And it helps also if you have the right face type, because this face type is not this face type, which is the same problem that the last photographer had, who was shooting a white girl and trying to make a white girl look like a black girl. A white girl with long hair look like a black girl with no hair. It just doesn't compute. Those two don't relate. Okay, I hope that helps you, Mr. Sedgwick. Thanks for submitting. Again, a very competent photo, but doesn't slide when you're saying that you're using that image as a way that I shoot guys. The only thing that you're catching is the crop. And I mean, again, this one would have been a closer reference to this one. Like this one would have been a closer reference. All right. I hope that helps you, William. All right. We are down to our last two photos. Allison Diller, very interested. These people are in my accelerator. These are accelerator ProLab members. Allison, for this assignment, I drew inspiration from cosmetics and the cosmetic industry. So this is some product photography that she is sending me as a reference, which is this image here. Now, let us look at what Miss Allison Dilla has in store. Allison, very, very, very clever. Goop hand cleaner to be like Pippa facial moisture glow. Yeah, this is really, really fun. Let's look at it as a cover. Oops, let's show cover. Allison, this is fun. This, again, it's like you're taking the piss out of yourself. You're not taking yourself seriously. You're cross-pollinating fashion and using that to, like, yes, Alice. This is so good, Allison Diller, so good. Unequivocally an 11. Unequivocally. And technically you served this well. It's like, obviously it's not going to be super high-end packaging, but you served this well. You shot this in such a way that I know that this is on the hood of a car, but it's non-distracting. Like, the hood of the car adds a little bit of dimension to it, but I still know exactly what it is that I'm seeing and what it is that you're trying to do. This is great. Well done, Allison Diller. That's an 11 for me. That is intelligent imitation, but like crossing, that's big brain stuff. Like, Allison gets a lot of time with me because she's in my accelerator, because she's in ProLab, and because she's booked me for one-on-one coaching. So Allison has like a fast track, like main line to the right information. And because of that, her progress is going super quickly. She shot that with the Sony A7R3 with a 28 to 70 millimeter at 70, ISO 320, f11 at 2/50th of a second, shot natural light with a Godox 8200 strobe. This is our last photo. This is Joshua Haney. This is intelligent imitation of the one and only Platon. Are you choosing an image? He is. This is the one, the only Platon photographer. He, based in New York, he's a Brit. He smokes. He's just one of the absolute killers. Let's look at Joshua Haney. Joshua, I think a really good swing, my guy. I think a really good swing. A little tight on the sides here. I feel like you could pull back like just a little bit. Lens selection. I feel also your lens selection is a little, let me look to see what lens you shot with here, my friend. A 40 with a full frame. Yeah, it's probably close to what this guy is shooting. I'd like to see this with a 50. And just speaking of lenses, today I'm doing a workshop. I'm so excited about this workshop. I took my girlfriend's face and I photographed it with several lenses from 16 millimeter, 24, 50, 85, 100, 135, and 200, just to show you how faces change depending on what focal length you're shooting with. All things that you shoot change depending on the focal length that you're aiming at. And if you're shooting things wide angle, there's certain qualities that wide angle lenses have that I'm doing essentially like a lens workshop to show you about, like, especially if you're a portrait photographer, if you shoot product, like if you shoot cars, choosing the right lens is so important. So that's what we're getting into today. is a lens selection workshop. It perfectly ends off with our shot here from Mr. Joshua Haney. Joshua, this hits as far as intelligent imitation of Platon. I think you nailed the light. I think you nailed the sensibility. My only vibe is like, I would love to see you now try this with like a 50. Try this with an 85 and see what the right lens is for this crop. That I've gone through. For this crop, for me, the right lens is an 85 to a 100 millimeter macro. So again, I want you to play a little bit, but you nailed this, and I'm giving you an 11 on the execution of this intelligent imitation of Platon. Very well done. Guys, that is all the people who submitted today. There were 9 photos, but this is what you should know. Number one, we're doing a workshop today at 2:30. That workshop is going to be all about lens selection, is going to be very much worth it. Another thing that you should know is the ultimate camera to cash flow challenge is about to start. Hey, look at Denise Tuggle super chatting 10 of her hard-earned dollars. Denise, thank you, girl. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, Denise. We'll put these shades on because, you know, you just, you did the good things. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate you. So, yes, we are, the next accelerator starts on the 28th of September. I'll be back. I mean, again, I'll be here on Sunday doing a podcast, but from Sunday, I am full guns blazing to get on a plane to fly to Amsterdam, to then get on another plane to fly over Africa from the top to the bottom, all the way down to South Africa. And then I get to see Garan, which is pretty dope. I'm flying all the way down there to see my man Garan, who is my operations manager. He is the chief operations officer here at the Carty Method and helps me make this business run so smoothly. So what you need to know is that we have a massive assignment due for when I come back. It's due September the 4th. I am looking at editorial stories. For the first time ever, I am looking at more than one of your photographs, like more than not one each. I'm looking at up to 5 images, an editorial story. So for September 4th, which is when it's due, I'm asking you to create a cohesive 5-page editorial story that tells a complete narrative through photography. Your images should work together as a series, each framing the next and previous to complete a compelling story. And that could run in a magazine. The idea is that you're shooting a cover, double page spread, and then 2 other single images. That's what we're looking for. That is due on, what's the date that's due? When I come back on the 4th of September. Be ready with that. And again, I'm going to be talking, I'm going to be doing lives. I'm going to be doing lives from Africa. So you have to make sure that you're subscribed so you can get into some of this content that I make down there with Garan. Today, short show. Again, hopefully to get some new people in here watching. Everybody who submitted, I appreciate. We do have some photos of the week. So let me go into the photos of the week, starting with 1, 2, 3. And again, the ones that nailed the assignment, which is intelligent imitation, the ones that included the reference and the ones that actually did what the reference did. Ladies and gentlemen, your first photo of the week goes to Rafael Ortiz. Raf. That is a photo of the week for you, my friend. Congratulations. Photo of the week, photo of the week, photo of the week. Let's get it on. Rafael Ortiz, photo of the week. Our next photo of the week goes to this photographer. Let's get it on. Photo of the week going to Malik Brand. Malik, that is a photo of the week under the Intelligent Imitation Monica. Let's get it on, Malik. All right, next photo of the week for this young lady. Her name, you ready? Her name, Denise Tuggle. Denise, that is a photo of the week. Congratulations under the Intelligent Imitation Monica. Congratulations. All right, we continue. This is all about people intelligently imitating images that have commercial viability today. Okay? Let's get on to this one. And again, the intelligent imitations, some of them were a little bit of a stretch. So again, I'm giving honors to the ones who were the spottest on. This next photographer, Allison Dilla, photo of the week. Allison, congratulations. Photo of the week for Allison. I think we have one more. Last final photo of the week going to the one and only Joshua Haney. Joshua, well done. Intelligently imitating. Everybody who submitted, thank you. Everybody who didn't submit, come on now. It's summer. And I know a lot of people, like, you get a little bit of movement and you're like, oh, I'm good. It's like, listen, I've been there. You get a little bit of movement and then that stuff dries up and then you're like, now, yeah. That, like, again, you don't want to ever be turning away work, but sometimes you got to turn away work in order to get bigger work. So that is today's show. I hope you guys found that valuable. I will be back here for Portfolio Lab members. And by the way, if you want to join Portfolio Lab, go to thecartymethod.com/Portfolio Lab and sign up. This is what you get. Number one, 8 photo reviews per month. 8. 2 per week. 2. Then you get 4 Zoom calls with me and my team and other Portfolio Lab members 4 times per month. Thursday. So all of that for the low price of $47. And you also get an archive of all of the past Zoom workshops that you missed. They're all in an archive ready for you as soon as you sign up. So that's what you get for $50 a month. It's smarter if you pay 3 months at a time or a year at a time. You can pay monthly, but there's a setup fee. It costs you a month if you want to pay monthly. You pay 2 months. You pay quarterly, you pay 3 months, you save the setup fee. All right, so guys, that is it for me. I will be back tonight, or well, not at tonight, at 4:30. I'll be back at 2:30 my time, 2:30, talking about lens selection. And then I will be back, of course, on Sunday at noon for the last podcast before I go to Cape Town. I hope today brought you value. Thank you so much for watching. If this brought you value, share it, make a clip, tell a friend. Appreciate you.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.